Hello, good folk of City of Prospect. I thought I'd do something different today. Instead of standing in front of you and talking to some pictures and plans on the wall, as I've done at previous staff meetings, today we're going to do a virtual walk through the Prospect Oval redevelopment, so you can see what Council's current investments at the Prospect Oval entails. I apologise in advance for my home video camera skills, but here we go. So we're starting on the north-western corner of Prospect Oval. This is the old grandstand that is in the process of being converted into a fitness pavilion, and in due course will be a function centre. This is the eastern elevation looking across the oval, and I'll show you what you see from up in the fitness pavilion when we get up there. You'll see across the front of the building the repointing of all the brickwork, the redoing of the slate stairs, clearly work in progress, the new balcony which will have balustrade and glazing across the top, through to the other side, which has a repeat in terms of the repointing and the like. As you can see, all of the gables, the columns, all of the joists, struts, etc. have all been repainted. The roof has been reclad with iron. As we walk into the fitness pavilion, you can see the effect of the treatment in the roof. The existing timber of the roof has been retained. We have the bulkhead which houses the air conditioning for the area, and the rest of the space will be largely open for its intended purpose. The view, albeit on a hazy day today, is not the greatest, but you see the foothills out through the windows, as well as obviously a fantastic view of the oval. And we have on the oval, as we speak, some budding roosters, maybe not. As I said, in the first instance, the space will be used as a fitness pavilion. The boxes on the floor are the floor boxes for the various devices, treadmills and the like, that will be sitting in front of the windows. And at the other end of the room, this will be left largely open for things like yoga, Pilates and the like. There will be, as you enter into this space, a reception area which will have a little cafe type setup with fridge and light refreshments. And essentially this is the foyer that you, or landing that you arrive at when you first come up either the elevator or the lifts into the building. At this level there is glass window, so those who get to this landing can see a fantastic view of the Memorial Gardens precinct. Okay, so we'll just quickly have a look at some of the conveniences at this level before we go down to the players' facilities downstairs. So in here we have toilets. Hello. Hand basins, toilets, and a couple of showers for those who want to use the gym facilities. The showers will be changed over to toilets in future when the space becomes used as a function room. We have disability toilets. Can't see the light switch, so I can't turn it on. It's probably a mic. Oh, there it is. And no lights come on. Clearly something that's still in progress. And we have then the male toilets. This time we've got some lights, so the male toilet facilities and shower facilities. Okay, so that's the first level of the grandstand. We'll now go down to the lower level, which is the players' facilities. So we're now on the lower ground floor area where the gates into the Prospect Oval are, next to the existing North Adelaide Football Club facilities. So these are the doors that access the building, and as you can either then go up the flight of stairs to to the function centre / fitness pavilion, or up the elevator. There will be also a door into the football club's change facilities, which I can't open at present, and all of these doors are the fire panels and electrical distribution boards for the site. So we'll go around now, hopefully into for those who are not familiar, that's the RSL building, which in due course we hope to be able to replace with some newer facilities for the RSL building. As we walk into the players area, we'll just take a quick look at the modwood. That is the cladding on the wall. Quite a good finish. Quite pleased with how that looks, particularly from Memorial Gardens. Okay, so we're now entering into the players' areas. This is the pump equipment that services the plunge pools. There's a hot and cold plunge pool for the players post-match for their rehabilitation and recovery. Just looking for some lights. Okay, so this is the main space that the players will use on match as part of their warm-up. These other doors that go into to these other rooms are where the team does their either this is the studs room where they get their boots fixed. There's another room which got no idea what it's used for, a team room which they use pre-match and during the course of the game to determine their on-field tactics and strategies. Get some lights. This is the medical officer's room where anyone who's got an injury will see the medico, and then there's a physio room for the purpose of rub downs and the like, and any rehab work. This space includes lockers for the players to house things, as well as team equipment. And over the other side, just have a look at the roof structure as we walk through. This is the players' race that takes you up onto the oval. We then have another room. That was the door we saw from the foyer area. Just a little cupboard space. And then this room. Again, if I can find some lights. Is the plunge pools that, as I said, the players will use post-match. Shower facilities. One of these plunge pools, these are I think about 6 feet deep from memory. One's hot, one's cold, so the players can go from one to the other. There's still stainless steel ladders to be installed to get the players in and out of there. And then the toilet facilities, hello again, toilets, and that's about it. So that's a quick tour of the grandstand conversion and the upgrade of the players' facilities downstairs. I'll now go across to the function room, which is within the North Adelaide Football Club building. Okay, this is the second component of the Prospect Road upgrade. It is the refurbishment of the existing North Adelaide Football Club function centre or function room. So this is within the North Adelaide Football Club's building. Okay, so this is the new function room, function centre, that's been refurbished. So this was an existing function room and bar for the footy club. What's been done is essentially new ceilings, new walls, new air conditioning, some audio-visual equipment, tidying up of what was a pretty tired and relatively dated room with essentially a refurbish, new bar facilities, including new fridges, new cool room out the back, which we'll get to in a minute, and also an upgrade of the kitchen to service this space. This will in due course be marketed by the football club as a venue which they will do or subcontract the catering, but then do all of be a responsible officer for the bar and like. So this is the upgraded or refurbished kitchen. A lot of the existing equipment was used or reused just to keep costs down. But the walls, the floors, the cool room, new grease trap, exhaust fan and the like was installed. Just have a look in here. This is the chiller or cool room. Camera doesn't show it, but it's very, very cold in here. Possibly see how cold it is. So the grandstand costs about 3.6 million to upgrade, and the function room was about half a $1 million. And then the kitchen itself was actually probably close to $250,000, believe it or not. So that's the most recent investment at Prospect Oval. The next project I'm going to talk about is the Prospect Road upgrade. Most of the council staff will be fully familiar with the works that's happening on Prospect Road, given that you're pretty much sitting right in the construction site at the time of this film. The work is being done from Olive Street through to St Helens Park at the other end of Prospect Road. The sections, the work's been broken into two components. There's the village heart, which is from Flora Terrace, pretty much the corner of Chenna, through to Rose Street and Labrina at the other ends. Outside the village heart is essentially a like-for-like replacement in terms of curb and gutter and footpath, but through the village heart there will be a significant transformation. The footpath on the western side will increase quite significantly. The new footpath will actually be outside the line of these existing cars. If you see the new traffic lights that have been installed, that will give you an idea of where the new footpath will be in relation to the existing footpath. The project will see significant improvements in terms of pedestrian access. Two PAC crossings, one in front of John and George's and Lula Blue, and the other existing crossing in front of the IGA Foodland. Through the village heart there will be a number of street trees installed, as well as landscaping in purpose-built planter boxes. a large number of street furniture items, seats, water fountains, both with and without dog bowls, public art at a number of locations and the like. The work will also see a significant improvement in the footpaths. Council has opted for an urban stone paver and granite banding and header course pavers to give the village heart a real lift in terms of its appearance. These boxes, this is an example of a box where landscaping will be, together with a street tree. We have indented parking through the village heart, which will substitute out the existing verge side parking. So where you see the cars parked on the other side of the road, in due course there'll probably only be about 4 car parks indented into the footpath on that side. No car parks on the section between Kintore and Flora Terrace. There will then be car parks, a further 3 car parks in front of Shankers, which we'll get to shortly. There'll be indented bus bays, one in this block and one in the next block. Excuse me. The project is progressing reasonably well. Unfortunately, it's not on time or on budget, which means that by the end of the year I'll probably be looking for a new job, hopefully in corporate services. The project is quite a complex project because, amongst other things, it requires the installation of NBN conduit for the national optical fibre broadband rollout in existing footpaths that are relatively narrow. So if we take this footpath as an example in front of the playgroup, you'll see that the works are largely in the existing footpath. So to run NBN conduit down along this footpath when there's already power, gas, sewer, water, electrical for traffic lights and the like, it's not hard to imagine lots of conflicts of services. A lot of the infrastructure that's being built includes or requires significant footing, so there will be a number of bollards that are installed, and trying to get the footers in for some of that infrastructure where that other underground services exist has been problematic. The project is due to be finished by the end of August. My guess is it will be closer to the end of September, at around which time the Department of Transport and Energy and Infrastructure, DTI, either directly or through a subcontractor, will come through and do a reconstruction / resurface of the road all the way from Buller Street down to Olive Street. So we've, as I've been talking, essentially walked the extent of the village heart. On the Commonwealth Bank corner there will be some public art that was being manufactured and supplied by Sydney-based artist by the name of Warren Langley. There will also be artwork in front of the IGA Foodlands, in front of the Day Spa, in front of the playgroup, both of those intersections being on the Kintore Avenue Myrtle Street intersection, in front of Moratti's, and then at the mouth of Vine Street Plaza. The existing traffic lights need to be turned off hopefully by the end of next week in order to relocate the existing pedestrian crossing from where it resides at present in front of the IGA and chemist through to just near the driveway access into Shankers. To turn those lights off, we need to turn the new lights on, which as I said, are back in front of John and George's and Lula Blue. There will also be, between the two pedestrian crossings, a 24/7 cycle lane, so that cyclists will have improved facilities through the village heart. And there will be a number of road treatments, threshold treatments at the intersection of Kintore and Myrtle Street to give higher prominence to pedestrians walking along the footpath. So that's the extent of this project. Watch this space. Council staff based at the Civic Centre in particular, but then also depot staff who are trafficking along Prospect Road will see the road evolve and morph before your very eyes over the next couple of months. The third project that I want to talk about today is the upgrade of Churchill Road. Council staff will be fully aware that Churchill Road was a very, very tired arterial corridor up until the upgrade that Council's almost completed along the road. A couple of years ago, Council embarked on a master planning process to look at Churchill Road and what it could be in the future, and what started off as essentially a like-for-like curb and gutter replacement probably about 4 years ago has morphed into a significant upgrade, and with the intent being to provide a catalyst for commercial development and an uplift of the existing housing stock along the corridor. The corridor being both the road corridor as well as the rail corridor, and with the expectation that the state government will electrify the rail network within the next couple of years. This particular road and the section of land between Churchill Road and Devonport Terrace will have a significant uplift. The vision per the master plan was to create an attractive transport boulevard lined with larger commercial developments in some nodes, as well as attractive residential accommodation. The project costs about $4 million, and as you can see, one of the key features was to try and green the road and to provide improved pedestrian facilities. There are some 6,500 plants that have been installed along Churchill Road, and a large number of trees, as well as improved street furniture, some signage, and in due course some public art. One of the key features of the upgrade has been the inclusion of both indented car parking, as you can see here, as well as verge parking, so that the road carriageway is unencumbered with vehicles parked on the side of the road. That's important given that the state government requirement was for the implementation of installation of a bike lane along Churchill Road, and unlike the other corridors, given the nature of the upgrade, we will see a 24/7 bike lane, continuous bike lane being installed on both sides of the street. Hence the requirement for the verge parking, so that people can park. There's been some improved signage, particularly around Cane Reserve, some extra facilities in terms of seats, bins, bike racks and the like. Unfortunately, a couple of the seats that we installed disappeared not long after installation, as has a number of plants and unfortunately some of the LED lights that were also installed along the road. At night time, the road's been given a bit of a lift. These balustrades in the median of the road are uplit by LEDs at night to give them quite a nice ambience. As part of the project, Council got DTI to agree to resurfacing the road ahead of schedule. Churchill Road wasn't on the schedule for another couple of years, but with the significant investment by Council, DTI did agree to upgrade the road. So there is a much smoother and quieter driving experience for those who use the road, as well as much less traffic noise being generated for residents that live along the road. The work was approximately 2 kilometres in length from Gur Street at the northern end through to Allen Street at the southern end, albeit the road resurfacing finished at Castle Street, or Castle Avenue I should say. Council is currently exploring with the department the opportunities for supplementary funding in order to complete the works along through to Torrens Road at one end and ultimately to Council's boundary at the other end.